For years, the Karnax Empire ruled the galaxy through fear and fire. Entire planets were reduced to ash, civilizations erased without mercy, and no one dared resist. They were monsters in living armor, with fleets that blotted out stars, and they made one fatal mistake. On a routine raid, they slaughtered a small research team on an unimportant moon. Not knowing that team was human, humanity had been silent for over a century, tucked away behind layers of advanced shielding and quiet warnings. The galaxy thought they had vanished, broken, or retreated. But the moment that distress signal reached Earth, the silence ended. No negotiations, no politics. Just one ship, sleek, black, and ancient in its design, was launched. And when it arrived, the galaxy watched in awe. As an empire fell in a single night, for over 200 years, the Karnax Empire ruled the galaxy with terror as its crown. Their origin was mysterious, but their method was unmistakable: invade, annihilate, and move on. Theirs was not an empire of governance, but of devastation. Where most galactic powers maintained order through alliances or diplomacy, the Karnax thrived on destruction. They left no survivors, no satellites, and no memory of the species they destroyed. It wasn't war. It was extinction. The Galactic Council, a fractured assembly of once proud civilizations, watched helplessly. Treaties and common defense pacts meant nothing against the Karnax. Their fleets could phase through shields. Their weapons disintegrated matter at the molecular level, and their soldiers' 8-foot monstrosities of carapace and venom tore through defenses like paper. The Council, fearing annihilation, issued a desperate decree: all non-essential exploration must cease, all borders must be fortified, and all member civilizations must avoid conflict with the Karnax at all costs. And for a time, the galaxy fell quiet. Entire quadrants were abandoned. Refugee flotillas drifted through deep space. Libraries and universities were relocated underground or hidden in asteroid belts. The shared dream of a peaceful galactic future faded into silence, but in a forgotten corner of the Orion Arm, on the edge of Council-recognized space, a small archaeological team uncovered something ancient. It was a human expedition, studying pre-jump civilization ruins on the moon of Varela 7. Protected by a fragile diplomatic zone, the humans assumed they were safe. They were wrong. The Karnax, unaware or indifferent to Council-designated neutral zones, attacked. Within hours, the outpost was glassed. 37 humans were killed. The transmission was short, no longer than 8 seconds, but unmistakable. A Karnax orbital ship descending, screams in the background, and a final line from the expedition leader: "They see us. We're not alone." When the Galactic Council received the footage, a grim silence followed. It was not just another planetary loss. It was a provocation. Humanity, officially reclusive, historically volatile, and technologically enigmatic, had been drawn into the war. And no one knew what that meant. For over a century, humans had withdrawn from interstellar politics. After the solar conflict and the failed Andromeda Accords, Earth had sealed its borders, refusing to engage in Council affairs. No one truly knew what they had been building during that silence. Some speculated about advanced AI fleets. Others believed Earth had collapsed under its own weight. All that remained was a whisper: "Do not provoke them." 2 standard cycles after the Varela incident, a ship exited slipspace above Karnax-controlled territory. There was no announcement, no declaration. The ship was matte black, triangular, and moved with unnatural precision. It was nearly silent in the M spectrum and radiated a low-frequency hum that disrupted nearby sensor arrays. Council observers tracking border activity registered its appearance. The ship had no escorts, no support fleet. Its designation simply read: HSS Retribution. Karnax warships mobilized within minutes. 14 destroyers, 3 capital-class carriers, and a dreadnought took formation. They surrounded the lone vessel. Demands were sent. Warnings were issued. The Retribution did not respond. What happened next defied logic. The Dreadnought, a ship 5 kilometers long, equipped with gravity well projectors and quantum phase torpedoes, exploded. Not breached, not damaged. It ceased to exist in less than 3 seconds. Telemetry from Council buoys showed a momentary spike in localized energy, followed by the absence of mass. No wreckage, no debris. It was as if the Dreadnought had been erased. Panic set in among the Karnak's forces. The destroyers opened fire. Energy bolts, antimatter lances, kinetic projectiles, nothing hit. The Retribution moved faster than predictive algorithms could calculate. It weaved through enemy formations with impossible agility. Within 90 seconds, all 17 Karnak ships were destroyed. Council analysts tried to dissect the battle. Footage. The Retribution's hull shifted in strange ways, as though its structure was adaptive. Its weapons remained unseen. Targets simply vanished or collapsed inward. Theories ranged from controlled singularity bombs to fourth-dimensional displacement tech. But one fact remained. The ship was human. The Council scrambled to open communication with Earth. Envoys were dispatched. Requests for explanation flooded Solnet frequencies. There was no reply. Earth remained silent. Meanwhile, the Retribution continued. It jumped between Karnak's outposts with brutal efficiency. Every incursion followed a pattern. Entry, engagement. Annihilation. No prisoners. No captured tech. No salvage. One by one, Karnak's strongholds fell. In less than a galactic week, the Karnaks lost 40% of their territory. Their response was desperate. They activated their oldest defenses, summoned reinforcements from distant sectors, and even attempted to deploy bioweapons across contested zones. None of it worked. Then on the 9th day, the Retribution arrived. At the Karnak's homeworld, Karnax Prime was a fortress world, encased in planetary shields and defended by the most advanced orbital grid in the galaxy. For centuries, it had never been touched by enemy fire. Until that day. The Retribution entered the system alone. The planet's moon was destroyed in the first salvo, not shattered, but atomized. Their orbital ring defense systems went dark. Within 30 seconds, dozens of capital ships fell without returning fire. Within hours, the planetary shield failed. Council surveillance drones, operating in stealth orbit, captured a lone human figure descending from the ship in powered armor. He landed on Karnax Prime without resistance. His name was later revealed to be Captain Elias Reyes, a veteran of Earth's forgotten wars, and commander of the Retribution. Reyes did not speak publicly. He did not issue demands. He simply walked through the burning ruins of the Karnax capital, entered the central citadel, and emerged carrying a sealed biocontainer, the last surviving Karnax queen. No one knows what became of her. Hours later, the Retribution left the system. It didn't return to Earth. It disappeared beyond mapped space. Destination unknown. In the aftermath, the Karnax Empire collapsed. Without leadership or military infrastructure, their species splintered. Some fled. Others surrendered. A few tried to resist and were wiped out by the remnants of the Council's long-dormant defense fleets. Emboldened by the shift in power, humanity never offered terms. They never claimed territory. No public address followed. Only a single message appeared across every major galactic network. We do not seek war, but we do not tolerate murder. If you harm our own, you will face the consequence. This is our only warning. The Council convened an emergency summit. Proposals were drafted for a new diplomatic framework, one that included humanity, but Earth did not respond. Ambassadors were turned away. Probes went unanswered. It was as if humanity had receded once more, leaving only the memory of fire in their wake. Some within the Council argue that Earth must be engaged, if only to ensure galactic stability. Others insist that the wisest course is non-interference, to let the sleeping colossus rest. Either way, one truth is now etched into the minds of every civilization. Humanity is not gone. Humanity is not passive. And if provoked, humanity does not respond with proportional force. They respond with retribution, and the galaxy will never forget it. 2 years later, Outer Rim Space Station, Phaeton 9, the station orbited a dying star in a forgotten system. It was originally built as a mining relay hub, later converted to a diplomatic waypoint after the Karnak's retreat. Now it served a new purpose: monitoring anomalies. What kind of anomalies, the staff didn't know. All they knew was that the Galactic Council had quadrupled the station's budget and ordered a permanent human liaison team to remain stationed there, even though Earth never officially confirmed the assignment. Lieutenant Sarvellin of the Thalorian Union watched the Outer Rim feeds flicker with growing concern. Something had just entered deep space, an energy signature not seen since the fall of Karnax. The signature was unmistakable. Triangular hull. Silent entry. Space bent subtly in its wake. All readings pointed to one conclusion: the HSS Retribution was active again. But this time, it didn't appear in a war zone. It was traveling across empty systems, cutting through former Karnax sectors like a ghost. It made no attempt at communication. It did not attack. It simply moved with intent. On Earth, Sol Prime Command, deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean. Sol Prime Command monitored the Retribution's path in silence. Riaz's mission, long classified even to most Terran officials, had never truly ended. The Warship had been built not only for vengeance, but as a sentinel. The first, and perhaps